You're watching Progressive Retail with Cory Mosley.
Welcome to another edition of Progressive Retail, exclusively on the CBT Automotive Network. I'm your host, Cory Mosley. As always, thanks for joining us. Is your dealership ready to go all digital? Could you do it? Are you doing it now? Today, I'm talking to Ryan Norris, dealer principal of Toyota of Easley. He's a guy that's making it happen every day. He made the tough decision to go all digital and is also doing some new innovative things with his Ask Ryan series. I sat down with him on the show and talked to him about it in more detail. Let's take a look. Ryan, thank you for joining the show today.
Thank you, Cory. Glad to be here.
So we're talking about this, breaking from traditional. We're talking about, this is progressive retail, right? So we always want to talk to people that, maybe thought one way, but it's okay to change your mind, as I like to say. And over the last few years, you've kind of had your own transition at your Toyota store and, breaking from some of the traditional advertising. What kind of prompted you making that bold decision to break with some of the more traditional ways that dealers have advertised in the past?
It was a progressive pattern there. We didn't jump off the ledge all at one time. We slowly got away from traditional advertising, and then April 1st, we did jump off the ledge completely. But we weeded out print to start with, and then radio a few years after that. But at the end of the day, it was just watching what customers were doing and really watching what friends and family and people that do. And people don't open up newspapers to car shop.
Right.
People don't typically listen to a ton of radio anymore. And if they do, they change the channel when a commercial comes on. They're streaming music or satellite radio, and more people are going away from watching traditional TV. And if they do, a lot of times they're DVRing programs and fast forwarding through them. So we decided we'd test the water and see what happens.
So one of the things that you recently launched and have invested a lot of time in is your Ask Ryan series. Tell our viewers a little bit more about what that is, why you decided to do it, how it came about.
Well, when we made the move away from television, I still wanted us to have a presence in our community and in our market area. And just social media as far as pushing vehicles or showing product on Instagram or showing people buy vehicles, take their picture before they leave on Facebook. That's great, but that still doesn't show our brand and us. So my ad agent, we were talking one day, and he said, we need to do something to get you on social media. And I said, well, show me something that some other dealers are doing. And we got to digging, and we really couldn't find anything. And so we just sort of brainstormed a little bit, and he said, well, we may have to be a somewhat of a trailblazer on this subject. And we both came up with an idea of answering people's questions online. And the series is called Ask Ryan. Customers will submit questions. We have an email address, or they could submit them on our Facebook page or any other form of social media we're on. And people ask questions about the dealership. And once a week, I go on and answer these questions in the most honest, transparent way that I can. And I think that it has really gained a lot of traction as far as showing us. I mean, our product is Toyota, but that's not really our main product. They can go buy a Toyota anywhere.
Correct.
When they see us and our culture and the way that we do business here, and just really seeing us as real people running a good business, it's attracted a lot of customers. And not only that, but we have actually hired some people that fit our culture by them seeing this. So we've hired associates here from it as well.
Oh, wow. So it's actually been a hiring where people are saying, hey, this is the kind of place, we know, and we've done our own studies that I typically present every year at NADA relative to why people don't come into the car business, why we can't attract more millennials and these type of things. And a percentage of that always comes back to stigma associated with the business. So you're finding that doing this in this transparent way is also creating an opportunity for you in the hiring department. That's interesting.
That's right. It's sort of peeled back the curtain.
Okay.
And it's really shown who we are and how we do things. And I equate it to, if somebody just knows I'm a car dealer, just like you said, a lot of times that has bad.
Right. It's one of those things.
But if I know you're a car dealer and we meet at your kid, if our kids play Little League sports together, and I get to know you through that means,
right.
The next time I need a car, I'm going to say, I've met Cory. He doesn't fit that mold. He seems like a trustworthy guy.
That's
I'm
right.
going to call Cory next time I need a car.
So many dealers are hesitant about things like becoming the face of the dealership, or they're not on social media personally, so they're not really. Maybe they are. They have a Facebook profile for the grandkids,
Right.
to communicate with them. What advice could you, looking into that camera, say to the guys that are sitting in your chair right now, have all the responsibilities of the world, have a million other things to worry about, like the financials and floor plan and how many inventory, all these other challenges that come across the dealer's desk, right? But what would you say to them when it comes to this idea of rethinking the brand and rethinking and reinvesting in social media? What would you say to them?
Well, and I go through all those same things. I mean, there's times that I think I don't have time to go do social media.
Right.
It's not something that fits into the progression of my day when there's so many other things going on. And my advice would be that's where your customers are. You've got so many people on social media, and now that we have gotten our followers up to our Toyota of Easley page, we have, and we're not a big town. So, it's not like we're
Right.
sitting in a big city. We're in a town of about 20,000, and we've got almost 12,000 followers
Wow.
on our Facebook page. And so I can get on there and advertise to them just like that. And and they're looking at it.
Right.
It's the best way that I have seen for the way we do business here to communicate with your customers.
That's awesome. Listen, I appreciate you coming on the show today. Love everything that you're doing and your progressive approach and helping to change our industry. Ryan Norris, dealer principal, Toyota of Easley. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Cory. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Well, that's our show for today. If you want to find out how we're helping dealers become more progressive and profitable, please log on to mosleyautomotive.com for more information. This has been another edition of Progressive Retail with Cory Mosley, exclusively on the CBT Automotive Network. I'll see you next time.
This has been a JBF Business Media production.